And then this is going to be going over to this right here. And as soon as this, yep, see, we are live. There we are. Hey, everybody.
Hey.
This is kind of like a very impromptu podcast. This is Shannon, aka
Shannon, PPG Freedom Girl.
All right. We've been training for about 3 days now, and you're actually in our second class. And we wanted to talk a little bit because we started talking about this, and one of the things that we started talking about before we said, "Hey, look how late it is," is how do you feel as a new student? And when you watch somebody, kite a wing up, it makes it look so easy, right? I mean,
Oh, it does.
I mean, I kite up the wing. I'm like, okay, we're going to kite up the wing. We're going to set it down. Now we're going to clip you in. We clip you in, and it just goes all over the place. I mean, your right's to the right, your left to the left, and you're like, which way do I pull? It kind of
is. It's a training your brain to think differently,
right?
Because when the kite's going one way, you need to go that way to bring it back over, but your brain's telling you, no, pull it from the left if it's going to the right. So
yeah. So how's it been feeling? I mean, how's it been so far? I mean, other than hot, oh my goodness, Arkansas weather.
It's hot here, y'all. It's real hot.
Bloody hot. We get up there early in the morning, and then about noon we break for lunch. Then we do some more classroom in the afternoon. What are some of the things that you felt like you really were able to get a grasp on and got a hold on that you weren't able to get on or understand just reading the book before you came to class?
Probably picking up the risers and how to place them onto the carabiner,
gotcha.
carabiner,
right?
And like flipping them over and understanding like that how the brakes need to be done and the pulleys. And so, I mean, you can read all of that, but until you put your hands on it and do it,
right,
it's a whole different ball game.
We got you in the simulator today too.
Yes.
How did that feel?
Yes. I cannot wait to fly. I cannot wait to fly.
Yeah, so we got you in the simulator and we practiced some turns and stuff like that. How did it feel actually being in the paramotor?
Surreal. Because I've been talking about this for probably 6 months, but to now actually be in training and learning stuff and being in the simulator today really gave me a feel of really how awesome it's really going to be. I mean, I don't even know how to. I mean, I haven't even flown yet, and just watching you when you fly, or watching, I've been watching videos from Bad Apples. I mean, it's just been amazing to see, just because in this community, everybody just wants everybody to succeed and have fun.
Right.
And that's really what I've seen is like, just everybody's big, happy family. So
it is. And we talked about, getting you up in the air. It really wouldn't take very long to get you up in the air. I mean, I could get you up in the air. You could come around and come in for a landing, but it's really not just getting you in the air when you go to a school. What are some of the things that you didn't realize that you needed to know when it came to paramotors? I mean, that you get up in the air, you pull right, you turn right, and you come in for a landing. But what are some of the things that you just didn't even realize were part of paramotoring?
Well, I think it's very deceptive to watch the paramotor, because I've been watching the paramotor videos for probably a year and a half, and you guys make it look so easy.
Yeah.
But when I was strapped in yesterday with a training harness and kiting, I didn't really realize how much strength it takes to really hold that and bring that kite up and hold it up. I just didn't realize how hard it was really going to be. I just thought, okay, I'll clip in this thing, we'll fly, I'm up in the air, done. But no. And I will tell you that my dad is doing this with me too. So we had contemplated just reading the book and kind of being self-taught. And I will not do that now. Not after training with you yesterday with just being in the training harness and kiting. I know. So I'm glad to be your student.
I did not know that you were contemplating self-training.
At one time we were, yes.
Interesting. So when you thought about self-training, what did you think training was actually all about? You think it was just getting yourself
just
up
getting up in the air? I didn't understand what thermals were, or just all even on the on the risers, okay. All the different thing, like the mallions, and all the different verbiage that you have to learn, and because you have to have all your lines straight, and you don't really realize how every sport has their do's and their don'ts, and I guess I didn't realize all the don'ts or do's in this sport and how much there really was involved. You
didn't know what you didn't know.
That's right.
When you were thinking about self-training, did you think anything about weather and the altitude and airspace?
No, had no idea what ground, or the airspace G versus airspace E versus airspace C, D. I had no idea. I just really thought I was going to be a kite myself. Like you fly a kite. I thought I was just going to be a kite up in the air. I had no idea about all the thermals and all of that. I would not do this sport. Absolutely would not do the sport self-training. I would not do it. I would not just read a book and then get a kite and start kiting. I really recommend training.
And you're only on day 3.
I'm on day 3.
Now, so here we are on day 3. How sore are you, and how much strength did not realize that you needed to be able to do, some things like just, kite the wing?
You guys, I spent, let's say a good 2 solid hours yesterday kiting. And I went home and took an Epsom salt bath for an hour. And I realized that the muscles I need to build up, what I need to do to build, to get the strength, because kiting, that kite can take you off. And it took me off yesterday. It caught me off guard. And I went down. But
were you wearing any protective gear?
I was. I'm going to tell you. I tried a forward, what is that, forward launch?
Forward inflation.
Forward inflation. And I thought he said go, but he was explaining things through, but I thought he was done explaining. So when he said go, I took off, not expecting the kite to pull me back. And it pulled me back so hard. I came off the ground and then hit back, full back and head, hit my head on the ground. Thank goodness I was wearing a helmet. Thank goodness. Because I even had a headache after the helmet. And never, ladies, wear barrettes that are, silver barrettes in your hair, or plastic ones.
With a helmet.
With a helmet.
Yeah,
it hurt me yesterday.
We learned that one. Oh, I found it, by the way. It was on the ground.
Oh.
Did you want to just leave it there? I didn't know. So I took it.
Okay. Well, thank you.
You're welcome. But how about as far as reverse inflation? Because you did the forward inflation because the wind died down to where you couldn't do a reverse inflation.
That's right.
So the wind that took you back was only about 1 to 2 miles an hour.
Wow, really?
Yeah. So that was not a lot. We just didn't get enough forward momentum.
Okay.
And once you had that power band coming up, you took a step back and just sort of landed on the butt.
Oh, yeah. And on the head and on the back.
What kind of muscles are feeling sore that you did not realize that you needed before?
Well, definitely this.
Right.
The shoulders, the neck from, watching your wing, wrist.
And you only watch the wing when you're in reverse, because the forward, you never look up. You always look to the left and right. Right.
Okay.
So your muscles in your back and your shoulders and your wrist, huh?
Yes. Yeah, just a little bit.
Like your forearms or
no, this. And it's maybe because one of the times I fell, I did fall on this side. So, but yeah, because you're,
Oh, that's right. You were actually.
I was hand kiting at one time. Yeah.
You actually do really well with hand kiting. Very surprised. You just pick that up. You're like, oh, there it is. No problem.
Well,
and then we get you in a harness,
and then I'm all thumbs.
And then it's like, which way to go, because doing a reverse and then trying to go for forward and going from a forward and back to reverse, everything does switch around.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, we don't live next to the beach where we have good laminar air. We have to only use the air that we have, which of course sometimes is not laminar. You get a little bit of gust and you get absolutely nil. And it's like, oh, nil. So you're sitting there ready for a reverse for 5 minutes in nil. So we finally, we unclip and we go for the forward. And then when you do the forward, you weren't expecting that power band behind you.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that would have been a turtle. So thank goodness that we're practicing.
Yes.
Because if that was a motor on your back, that would have been a turtle. And unfortunately, when you turtle, most of the times you damage the prop.
Yeah, we don't want to do that.
No, we don't. And speaking about prop, we, like I said, we put you in that simulator.
Yes.
And you were doing really well. So what did you think about, crossing your leg and that little bit of,
I guess I didn't. I will tell you,
mm-hmm.
I was not expecting that I was going to have my legs crossed at all times.
Mm-hmm.
I just thought I was going to be up there dangling my legs. I didn't realize
you don't have to. You don't have to.
I know, but if I don't, then I could be out of control. So I'm, that's just something I learned new today, you guys, is that even the slight bit of tilt this way, tilt that way, you're really controlling the whole paramotor wing with your body just sitting in there. And so I learned today that, to turn right, you look first, you look down, you look up, and then you pull down, but you have to cross your legs.
You look right. And lean right.
And lean right. Sorry.
And pull right.
And pull right. So I didn't realize that the legs were going to be part of me maneuvering. That's something I didn't realize today.
Well, this is something too that, students, you can start off like this, so you can kind of feel, especially in the simulator, that just a little leg cross, your whole body shifts, which means the whole paramotor is going to shift. Mm-hmm. And when that whole paramotor shifts, then you're actually putting yourself into a little bit of a turn. Depending on how much you shift, you can turn even more. And depending on what kind of weight shift you have on your paramotor, you can actually, put your brakes up and fly by just shifting.
Yes. That's something I learned today. Did not know that.
Yeah, because what were we drilling at the field? Never let go of the brakes when you're ground handling.
Right.
Because they could get twisted. So when I told you, in the simulator, you can just, stow your brakes. What'd you say?
He had me confused. Because I was like, wait a minute, you told me yesterday for 3 hours, don't drop your brakes. And so then when we were in the simulator, or I was in the simulator, he's explaining that once I'm up there, I'm not going to be using brakes, so I can stall them. Is that what you said? Stow them.
Stow them on the
clip them back on the, okay. On the stow them. Sorry, you guys, I'm learning all this new verbiage I didn't know before.
There's a lot.
There is a lot.
There's a lot.
There's a lot. I'm going to tell you something that's really awesome.
Yeah.
This is really awesome, you guys. I didn't start reading the book until I got into Sean's training. And the reason I didn't is because, I did open it and I looked through it, but I'm like, I don't know, what's a malleon? What is this? What's that? I didn't really get it. The first day of training, he just explained just the risers to me, everything on the riser. And I went back and I read the book and I was so excited because I'm a hands-on person. A lot of people are hands-on, right?
Right.
So when now I'm excited to read the book, because now when I read it or when I listen to podcasts, and you guys are talking, I understand what you're saying.
Right.
which makes it even more exciting for me to learn the sport even more.
Right.
So,
well, sounds like you're excited.
I am so excited. I just cannot wait to fly. And I can't wait for Tennessee because I probably won't have a paramotor by then, but I'm going to be there.
Are you talking about moonshiners?
Yes, moonshiners.
Oh, I know, and I can't. It's really sad that you missed
Bad apples.
but it was really awesome. Eric and Jade made a bunch of stuff here. I know you didn't see this right here. Check these out.
Oh, wow.
You know what these are?
Oh, they're tattoos.
They're tattoos, yeah.
Yeah.
So you got a little tattoo people. They're temporary tattoos, and these are the ones that we're going to give away on our show tomorrow. Like I said, this is just a bonus podcast, just because she's here, and it's pretty neat to be able to talk right away after your third day of training and go, wow, this was, what does that say? That's backwards. I can't read it. Oh well. Oh, because it's a tattoo, right?
Yeah.
Backwards. All right. Oh, cool. Check this out. I didn't even see this one. Superman. That's not really a paramotor. So we're going to
Nobody flies.
You are so correct. So what we're going to do tomorrow is we're going to be giving away a bunch of tattoos. We're going to give away some shirts. Oh, that's pretty neat. A lot of stickers. So if you guys actually want some stickers, you can go to ClearPropTV.com. What does that one say? I hate that it's backwards. I can't. Can you read that? What does that say? Being normal is boring. Wow, I can read backwards.
There you go.
So we're going to give away a bunch of stickers. And if you haven't seen it yet, this is the Bad Apples sticker that you get. That's pretty cool. I wish I would have got more than just one, but I got a shirt too.
Oh, cool.
So, you know what? Oh, it's an apple.
Oh, you didn't notice
it's
that?
It's an apple with a skull. Oh my goodness. Wow. That's a bad apple.
It's a bad apple.
That is so funny. Oh my goodness. But anyways, guys, it was really fun, and it's really interesting after a while of doing paramotors, you kind of forget what it's like to be a newbie. And you forget that there's a lot of terminology that new people, they just don't get. You think, well, just read the book, we'll go over some of this, but there's still a lot of terminology that is just so foreign. What are some of the things that you learned about airspace that you didn't realize that you knew about airspace or didn't know that you had to know?
I didn't know that, well, I didn't know this, that, you can only go up in G space. You can only go up to 1200. And then you're in a whole nother different airspace. The skidding thing, is that what you talked about today? Okay. So I didn't know that when the sun hits dark, like ponds or dark, trees and stuff, that the
dark
fields, that the heat is more intense. So that means the heat's coming thermals, up. Right? Yes. And it creates thermals. Learned that today. Had no idea about that at all. None.
That's pretty cool. And that's what you took away from today is the thermal thing.
Yes.
That was the most important.
I had no idea.
Okay.
Because you don't see it.
That is true.
But you did tell me you feel it when you're in the paramotor.
You can definitely feel lift and sink, just like that last video I posted, where we're over at Bad Apples, and I was on the right by that pond. The pond was, lifting up, and on the side you got that cooler sink that comes down, and then you got this big convection system going.
Yeah.
And so I was flying, and then all of a sudden I got from the pond and got over to the side, and then there I got in that sink, and you pretty much just saw me sink 50 feet.
Yeah.
Almost like that. If I didn't have the altitude, I could have hit my butt, and that would have been really bad. Yeah. So yeah, but that's another reason why students and new pilots, they don't fly midday, because there are a lot of thermals, and you do have a lot of lift and sink and stuff that you don't know about. So when's the best time for new students to fly?
In the morning and in the evenings.
About what time?
About
an hour before sunset.
And an hour
after sunrise. Those are
okay.
usually the very, very best laminar, wonderful.
I learned what laminar meant today.
Ooh, and what
consistent wind.
Very good. Yeah, it's just amazing the things that you don't know when you're first thinking about getting into paramotors.
Yeah.
You think it's just, I'm going to kite this wing up, I'm going to give it gas, and I'm going to go fly.
Right.
But you never think about, well, what's the weather going to be like in 20 minutes? What are those clouds up there showing us? Those big fluffy clouds that you see that pop up. That's where the thermals. You got that nice warm air coming up, and then it cools and condenses and makes those clouds, those big fluffy clouds.
Really?
Yeah.
I had no idea. Wow. See, learned just something just now.
Here's something that a lot of people don't realize too, is that you get these really tall clouds, right? You get a lot of that stuff, a lot of lift, and they're really tall, right? And then it comes, so you got a lot of thermal action, right? You got a lot of lift. And if you're flying up there, either free flying or with motors, you can actually get what's called cloud suck and get sucked up in the cloud because there's so much updraft.
Okay. Wow.
But what most people don't realize is that these big, tall clouds, they have so much energy stored in them that when the sun goes down, now this thing is going to squish down and all that air is going to come down underneath of it. So if you're flying and you're underneath one of these things, you could get a lot of sink.
Okay.
Then when it comes down to the ground, it's almost like it's
pushing
it splashes. So now you got turbulence that comes down and up and around. That as you're flying, you all of a sudden get this turbulence. It's like, what's going on? There's no trees, there's no wind, but you look up there and then you realize that you got all this warm air coming down and splashing and causing the turbulence. I've actually experienced that too.
So much to learn.
A lot of things you just don't know unless you
yeah.
find someone that can actually tell you about these things. You can learn pretty much everything that you need to on the internet, but when it comes to flying, definitely find an instructor that
yes.
can help you out with things that you just don't even think about.
Well, I do. I'm going to get a shout out to you, Sean, because when you first read the book, it shows you some steps of what an instructor should be.
Mm-hmm.
And one of them is major patience. And you were so patient with me yesterday. I couldn't even, I was so appreciative.
Really?
Yes, because my brain, I'm trying to train this brain to stop pulling when it goes to the right and go to the right. And that's hard to do, especially when you're up there in age. You're having to retrain your brain. So I really appreciate your patience with me. And
thank you.
Just you keep repeating it. Because, I've always said this has been my motto for a long time, but practice does not make perfect. It makes permanent. And the more I practice, the more permanent it will become.
Right. And you're doing really good. I mean, today you actually were able to get the wing up there. You had it stabilized and you were kiting the wing very well. You did really well. Now, and you also had the throttle. Our fake throttle was that yesterday?
Yeah, and today in the simulator.
Mm-hmm. Right. And
simulator.
And one of the things that we're going to do next time is as you do a reverse, we're going to get it stabilized, and then you're going to turn around and go.
Oh, okay.
So that's why we have the throttle in our hand. We got our brake, because when we turn around, now we're going to pretend that we're giving it some throttle. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to be behind you, give you a little push, and you're going to get a little lift.
Oh, okay. That sounds like fun.
Absolutely. Well, guys, thank you very much for listening to us. We just wanted to talk a little bit since, I think I'm getting sunburned. I think I lost another 20 pounds today. It's amazing how much weight you can lose when you're out on that field. But thank you guys so much for listening. Subscribe if you haven't, and we'll be back here tomorrow, regular time, 7 p.m. Central, 8 p.m. Eastern. And you can always find us at ClearProp TV. Go to ClearProp TV if you want to get some free stickers and just, fill out that form and say, hey, I want some free stickers. I'll get you some free stickers even before tomorrow. Who does that? All right, guys. Thank you so much. And we will see you tomorrow. Oh, I guess we do have a couple people in here. Good deal. All right. We'll see y'all tomorrow. Bye. End stream.
How many watched that?